When a pope passes away, the world turns its eyes to the Vatican, awaiting the ancient rituals that mark the end of one era and the beginning of another. The transition from one pontiff to the next is filled with solemn traditions, rich symbolism, and deep spiritual significance. But what actually happens in those crucial days between a pope's death and the election of his successor? Who confirms his death? What happens to his personal belongings? And how is the next pope chosen? In this expanded deep dive, we'll take you step by step through the 10 key events that unfold after a pope dies, shedding light on the mysteries, traditions, and immense responsibility that comes with electing the new leader of over 1 billion Catholics worldwide. So, whether you're Catholic or just curious about what goes on behind the closed doors of the Vatican, you're in for a fascinating journey. Let's begin. Number 1. The confirmation of death. It all begins with an official confirmation. The Camerlengo, a high-ranking Vatican official, is responsible for verifying the Pope's passing. In the past, he would tap the Pope's forehead 3 times with a silver hammer while calling out his baptismal name. If there was no response, the Pope was declared deceased. Though this dramatic gesture has faded, the process remains highly ceremonial. Today, the Camerlengo simply calls the Pope's name 3 times. If there's no response, medical professionals step in to officially confirm the death. Once verified, the Camerlengo informs the Dean of the College of Cardinals, and the Vatican press office prepares to share the news with the world. Number 2. The breaking of the fisherman's ring. One of the most powerful symbols of the Pope's authority is the fisherman's ring. A gold ring featuring an image of St. Peter casting his net into the sea, a reference to the Apostles' calling as a fisher of men. This ring serves as the Pope's official seal, used to authenticate documents. To prevent any potential misuse after his death, the ring is ceremonially destroyed. The Camerlengo presents the ring to the College of Cardinals, who then scratch or break it. The Pope's official seal is also defaced, ensuring that no documents can be fraudulently issued in his name. This act marks the symbolic end of his papacy, signaling to the world that the Church is now in a period of transition. This ritual ensures a clean break between pontificates, reinforcing that no one can act in the name of the deceased Pope. Number 3. The sealing of the papal apartments. With the Pope's passing, the Vatican enters a secure state. The Camerlengo orders the sealing of the papal residence in the Apostolic Palace. Wax seals are placed on the doors to prevent unauthorized access. Even the Pope's private study and other offices within the Vatican are locked down. This process ensures that all official documents, personal letters, and important records remain untouched until a new Pope is elected. The apartment remains sealed until the next pontiff is ready to take residence. This tradition serves as both a security measure and a mark of deep respect. Number 4. The announcement and period of mourning. When the Pope's death is confirmed, the news spreads rapidly across the world. Church bells toll across Rome and in Catholic churches worldwide. Flags are lowered to half-mast, and Catholics everywhere enter a period of mourning known as Novendialis, which lasts for 9 days. During this time, special prayers and masses are offered in honor of the deceased Pope. Tributes pour in from world leaders, religious figures, and faithful followers. St. Peter's Square fills with people mourning the loss of their spiritual leader. The Vatican prepares for the grand funeral ceremonies to come. Number 5. Lying in state. The Pope's body is prepared for public viewing in a solemn tradition known as lying in state. His body is washed, anointed, and dressed in traditional papal vestments before being placed on display at St. Peter's Basilica. Vatican officials, cardinals, and close associates often hold private viewings before the body is presented to the public. Then, in a grand procession, the Pope's body is carried through St. Peter's Square, escorted by the Swiss Guard. Bells toll, and crowds gather to pay their respects. The lying in state typically lasts for 3 days, though it may be extended based on public demand. During this time, thousands of people file past the Pope's body, offering prayers and final farewells. Number 6. The funeral mass. The funeral of a pope is a grand and deeply moving event, attended by world leaders, clergy, and faithful Catholics from across the globe. The service is typically held in St. Peter's Square and presided over by the Dean of the College of Cardinals. A simple wooden coffin holds the Pope's body as prayers are offered for the repose of his soul. The Litany of the Saints is chanted, invoking the prayers of holy men and women for the departed pontiff. A sealed document detailing the Pope's life and reign is placed inside the coffin before it is sealed. The burial location is chosen based on the Pope's wishes. Many have been interred in the Vatican grottos beneath St. Peter's Basilica. With the burial, the mourning period formally comes to an end and the Church turns toward its future. Number 7. The Sede vacante period. With the Pope's death, the Church enters a phase called Sede vacante, meaning the seat is vacant. This period ensures that the Vatican continues functioning despite the absence of a leader. During Sede vacante, the Camerlengo takes on a caretaker role, overseeing the day-to-day affairs of the Church. However, no major decisions, such as changes in doctrine or church appointments, can be made until a new pope is elected. This period usually lasts between 15 to 20 days, allowing the necessary preparations for the conclave. Number 8. The calling of the conclave. Once the mourning period ends, the Dean of the College of Cardinals calls for a conclave, the sacred gathering of cardinals to elect the new pope. Cardinals from around the world make their way to Rome to take part in this historic process. Before the conclave officially begins, the cardinals hold pre-conclave meetings. These discussions set the stage for the voting procedures and allow them to reflect on the needs of the Church. No cardinal may send a representative in his place, only those physically present may participate in the election. Number 9. The conclave begins. The cardinals gather inside the Sistine Chapel, where they take a solemn oath of secrecy. The doors are locked and no communication with the outside world is allowed. Ballots are distributed and each cardinal writes the name of his chosen candidate. A two-thirds majority is required to elect the new pope. After each round of voting, the ballots are burned. Black smoke rising from the chimney means no decision has been reached. White smoke signals that a new pope has been elected. Number 10. The announcement of the new pope. Once a candidate secures the required votes, he is asked if he accepts the role. If he agrees, he immediately becomes the new pope and chooses a papal name. The world eagerly awaits the iconic words from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, "Habemus Papam," we have a pope. The new pontiff steps out, blesses the crowd, and begins his reign as the spiritual leader of over 1 billion Catholics. With the election of a new pope, the Church enters a fresh chapter of leadership and faith. The newly elected pontiff must now guide the Church, facing modern challenges while upholding centuries-old traditions. The transition from death to conclave is one of the most sacred processes in the Catholic Church, reminding the world of the enduring legacy of faith, unity, and the unbroken lineage of St. Peter. And just like that, history is made once again. If you found this fascinating, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the history and traditions of the Catholic Church. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. What aspect of the papal transition surprised you the most? We'd love to hear from you. Stay blessed.